Hey, good day, everyone. My name is Agyeiwaa Okodie, or you could call me Lavette. I'm back again to deliver my message. I think last week I started off with "Good morning, gorgeous," and I intend to continue with that topic. This journey for me is all about self love, which is, I believe, is uh, we can say is the ultimate antidote for self care. Pardon my. Sorry about that. So we started our journey last week discussing one of my favorite artists, someone who I have been listening to for a long time. I followed her for a long time since I was a teenager, and that's Mary J. Blige. And one might say, why Mary J. Blige? She's, for me, her life tells it all. If you've followed her or anyone else who has had a life journey of ups and downs, then you will understand why I'm using her. And I did mention that if anyone's really interested, she has a documentary out. Actually, she has a couple of documentaries out. You can go watch it. There's one called My Life, and it's very touching and very inspiring, and gives me hope that uh, you know, God is not done with you until He says He's done, basically. So, having said that, one might ask, like I said, why Mary J? But she, for me, is the poster woman for survival and for thriving through her journey. Um, and I believe that through what I've seen in her eyes, it's prompted me as an individual, as a woman, as a mother, and as someone who is in the workforce to take certain cues, um, and to help me shape and mold my life in a way that um, I can truly say that I am loving myself. Through it all, in our journey of life, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, or Mary's not the only one who's going through something. But the key is that we're still here and we're still standing, and we need to give ourselves a pat on the back for that. We have to understand that loving ourselves is not necessarily being selfish. It's more so of keeping your agency intact. What your purpose is on this earth intact. You want to define yourself through how the Creator has or defines you. So we have to realize that loving ourselves is the ultimate self care. And it is the thing that we've been assigned to help us. Because if I don't help myself, if I don't love myself, sorry, how do I love other people around me? How can I say that? How can I help someone else? Even when we are on the plane and they give us our tutorials on what to do in case there is um, an issue. Obviously, they tell you to save yourself first before you can even save that person sitting next to you, which may even be your child or a loved one. So we have to understand that loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves is key. I recently started following Mel Robbins, and if you don't know Mel Robbins, she is a motivational speaker. She has several podcasts and she's written several books. And she talks about how you are your own best friend. You have to love yourself in the way that others in the way that you love others. Sorry. I mean, you think about it. If you're in love with someone or you truly love someone, how you treat that person, that is how you treat yourself. And you can't expect anyone to love you more than you love yourself. One of the things we need to realize is that humans are self-seeking in nature. So don't expect anyone to put themselves out there for you. And even when they don't, we get so upset. You shouldn't. You should take a cue from that, knowing that they are seeking for themselves what's best for them. And so should you. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you selfish. Again, I say that doesn't make you necessarily a human flaw. And it shouldn't, that's not to say you should go out stepping on other toes. No. But what you need to do is to seek out without sacrificing your dignity, your self worth. These are things that are very paramount to you as a human, not letting yourself go by allowing others to take from you, to destroy your human spirit. And we are put on this earth to be protectors of ourselves. We must protect those, that very nature in you that has been designed for a specific purpose. And what I've come to realize is that human beings will, will attack you for wanting to keep your agency intact. Not sure why, but possibly, and I'm not to be quoted on this, is because they have not been able to do so for themselves. So they don't expect you to do the same for yourself. But we have been tasked on this earth with only one life and only one life to live. So it is important that you care for that life that has been given to you. What's more important than the breath that you breathe? So, again, my advice is to love yourself. Treat yourself the way you would treat those that you love. Like I said, it's not about stepping on others, it's about having dignity for yourself and not sacrificing who you are. You can't give what you can't give. You shouldn't be penalized or punished for that. Saying no is okay. It's something I've come to learn in my later years. If you say no, there's nothing wrong with it. We can't always say yes just because we have to please others. That is a very superficial way to live and not sustainable. You can't sustain yourself saying yes to everyone. So, how do we start moving forward to love ourselves? Where do we start from? One of the things that I've come to realize and understand is that we must learn to affirm ourselves. And that brings me back to MJB, the Queen of Soul, or the Queen of Hip Hop Soul, I should say, Mary J. Blige's song, Good Morning Gorgeous. Affirming who you are throughout the day. You're gorgeous, you're beautiful. Whatever it is you want to say to yourself to make yourself feel better, say it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to tell yourself you're beautiful, to tell yourself you're gorgeous. Even in the face of whatever it is you're going through, even in the face of having done something wrong. Yes, we take accountability, but we still affirm that we are the gorgeous being that God has made us to be. Another thing I learned from Mel Robbins is a book she wrote about having the high five habit. And just in summary, it tells you to look in the mirror and give yourself a high five. And that synonymously for me means you can give yourself a pat on the back, encourage yourself, say things to yourself that will help you push through the day, not just a woe is me attitude or having a pity party. At least push yourself through. Will you have those days where you feel sorry for yourself? I believe it. But like we read from our past book, The Gap and the Gain, that talks about staying in the gap for a few minutes, but you have to move yourself to a place of gain. And I think it's a Benjamin Hardy who wrote this book. It really helps us realize that we are not in competition with anyone else, but in competition with ourselves. So every day that you do something is a win. So you need to give yourself that pat on the back. You need to high five yourself when you have those small wins, because little drops of water obviously to make a mighty ocean. And one day you will look back and realize how much you have accomplished. Like I think I alluded to the fact that we need to learn to say no sometimes, building healthy boundaries, learning to understand what we can and what we cannot do. We can't always do everything for everyone. We can't be everything to everybody. It's not possible. You can be what God has called you to be, and that's okay. And what you can do, you cannot do. You don't extend yourself, you don't overindulge, because you can't sustain your age by doing that. So I tell everyone, as I tell myself, we need to learn to build healthy boundaries because our agency requires us to. You can't do everybody. So, having said all of that, what's important as we take this journey is dignity, self worth, or is it being loved by others? So you do what others tell you without thinking through and processing. It's up to us to realize that we are our own best friend. So you take care of you and let the world see that you love yourself and you will not bow to the pressure of being liked by others. My name again is Agyeiwaa Okodie. Thank you all for listening to me tonight. And I say, have a great day. Thank you.